welcome to this week's angling blog. Today you join us on the banks of the River Ribble and we're going to fish for silvers. I'll go quickly over the tackle. I've got my 17 foot Preston Innovations carbon active rod, 4 pound 4 ounce float fish. I've gone with a 3 gram Bolo, that's down to a bulk Olivet, and I've got a probably 2 foot dropper with evenly spaced number 8 down the line. First of all, on this blog I'm going to apologise if there's a lot of wind on it and a lot of there's not as much of me talking. They've give -6 today, wind chill and large gusts. For anyone that keeps up with the weather, it's the weekend before Christmas and the country's got quite a few weather warnings on it, so how the session will go I don't know. We've picked quite a sheltered spot where the wind's really bad below us and really bad above, so fingers crossed we can get a few fish on the bank. So the side tray for today, I have got 2.5 pints of red maggot, Cheshire particle hemp, and on the side tray I've got my weights, disgorger, pink disgorger obviously, and depth plummet. On it already and it's already early on. Round that bend there, believe you me, the wind's horrendous, and on top of that hill, this is probably the calmest it's been since we arrived. There's a few fish topping. I've not fished this river before, so it's all new to me, but there's been a few fish topping probably midway across, but coming this side here, as you can see there's a fish just top there. My hope is to come as close in as possible with this wind, and looking downstream, as you can see, it's quite a big river. Big rivers can be really daunting, and a lot of my fishing has been on small rivers at the moment, so when I arrived today it was a bit daunting to look at when you've not been on them a while. But what I do is I split the rivers into lanes like a motorway. You've got the inside lane, the middle lane, and over the far bank you've got the fast lane. Now I'm hoping to get them between the slow lane and the middle lane, the joining part there, and if you split the river into sections it suddenly becomes a much easier prospect. Forget halfway across, you're concentrating on only half of the river, and when you think about that, it's not such a daunting prospect. So feeding wise, I'm going to be really positive and put some hemp in. There's a lot of fish topping, and what I want to do is draw them over this side of the river. I'm feeding by the catapult, so naturally I'm going to put more bait in, so I'm going to feed quite a bit of hemp and quite a few maggots, just to get some fish into the swim. And you've got to do with these type of swims is fish within your means. There's fish topping right over the other side, but you've got to think to yourself, can you get your bait out there and can you fish it effectively with mending your line? Ideally I want to be getting the fish as close in as I possibly can. If I could get them down here it'd be fantastic, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be more where the end of the tip of my finger is there, and with a downstream wind I'm going to be feeding downstream, and my hemp in line with that pallet there, and my maggots in line with that tree, hoping to get me bites in this bit. What feeding downstream does is you can get right behind your bait. If the fish come up here it's very hard to hold back over it, but with the wind blowing downstream you've got more of a chance of being behind your float when you're fishing. First fish of the day, looks like a lovely roach. Let's have a look at it. A confidence boosting start to the session that. Hopefully there's 1 or 2 more of them about. So a lovely bend in the rod, and second fish of the day, and it's another lovely roach. So second fish of the day and 2 lovely fish to start the session. I say I wouldn't mind a few of them today, and that is a palm full of winter, a lovely winter roach. Another quality roach coming on the Bolo. The reason I've used the Bolo is because it's so visible and hopefully will give me that weight to hold back in this wind. Feeding just behind the float and putting the hemp in. The hemp's going to be important today for trying to get some fish where they can present a bait. Just come just over a third of the way across the river. As you can see, there's a bit of a calm, but when that wind blows downstream, it's really hard to hold back because the river wants to push the float into this bank. Here we are, a lovely silver dart, my favourite river species, as I've said on other videos, and that is a lovely fish. And there has been some quality today. It's been hard fishing with this wind, but all the fish have been quality. Let's get it back. Look at the colours on that. A perfect billy. These lovely stripes and vivid colours. And that's what I love about the river. The colours on the fish are just so vibrant. A lovely perch. What a lovely river the Ribble is. Certainly we'll be back. I guess setting up on their drinking hole wasn't the best idea, but it takes me back to being a kid. Me and my dad sitting on a Sunday morning watching Rawhide. So come on lads, hit them up, hit them up, hit them up, hit them up. Off they go. And there's my little friend today, the Swan. He's been picking up any hemp seed that have dropped on the bottom. I'll probably take it out of my hand, probably, yeah. And when your maggots are that lethargic, you know it's a cold day. Right, so I'll just put the GoPro on, and as you can see firsthand the conditions. It's a really bad downstream wind. I'm just feeding past the crease between that inside lane and the middle lane we were talking about, and feeding the maggots slightly downstream over a big area just to try and get that line of bait going down. Now a lot of the bites have come when I've held back, which is going to make it hard. So just holding it back over the hemp is when the bites have been coming. Just edging it through the swim, holding it back and then letting it go. And a lovely bend in the rod. And I say when that wind just drops a slight bit and it comes into the, and you can hold back on the hemp, there's some lovely fish in the swim. Another lovely roach coming on the maggot over the hemp, and they've all been in fin perfect condition. And as the session goes on, you begin to get into a bit of a routine with it, and slowly getting a few bites put together, you know, in a bit of a string where the bites are coming in the same area. Every fish today has been hard fighting, and I think that this could be a little chub, and it is. And there we are, fourth species of the day: roach, perch, dace, and now the ever obliging chub. And with a cake hole like that, I imagine he's had a few maggots, because presentation has been really hard. So as the afternoon's gone on, we've still got our friend with us mopping up the hemp. It's pretty hard now to fish that middle line, so what I was doing while I was feeding the third to middle line, I was feeding maggots down this inside, about a rod and a half length out, probably where that scutch is here. I've been picking up 1 or 2 fish round about this area here, all roach, but just shows the benefit of having 2 lines and keeping on feeding that inside line in case you need it later on. And it's almost impossible to fish out in the middle now, so that is the only line that I can really hold back on. Right, so it's the afternoon now and bites aren't as steady, but conditions are slowly getting worse. We've got a bit of rain moving in and this fish is ice cold. And there's another. Fishing this inside line that I was feeding most of the day. As I say, I tried it earlier on, but there was just no fish on it at all. But I think as the session's gone on, the shoal's moved in. And this feels an altogether bigger fish. It's gone upstream and much bigger than anything that I've hooked. So I'm just going to concentrate on getting it in. Right, so I guess making a blog is about sharing memories, and this is going to be definitely one. It's a horrible day and we decided to come out, and I've just hooked into a fish that was solid from the off. It moved upstream, was solid, but a jaggy fight. When it come up, I knew it was a PB, but yeah. I had it in the water resting next to me in the net, because I'm right on the water's edge, and look at that, £2 1 ounces. My first ever £2 roach, and it's massive. It is. It's got a blemish on this side, but yeah, I won't keep it out of the water too long. We've got a couple of photos, but on a day where I thought we really struggled to get a bite, we've had a few bites, but that, yeah, my first ever £2 roach and a session I'll never forget. Let's get it in the water to rest, and I'm going to get a couple of photos. Highlight how simple river fishing can be. It was a bit of a walk to the peg today. We knew that when we were coming, and barring a rod and a reel, that is your basic terminal tackle that fits in a Rose's tin and a float box. Today really shows the importance of hemp, really. I was feeding hemp down that line as well as the maggot, but it's the hemp sitting on the bottom that has sat there while I've been fishing further out, and has give the fish that have moved in a bed to sit over and keep them there. Hemp is a fantastic holding bait, and like I've said before in blogs, it's you saying to the fish where you want the bite, but it's also good when you're fishing another line for keeping fish in a swim when they arrive. And there we go, like I was saying, just edging that bait through, and it's another roach, I think. That's a lovely fish to end the blog on, and when you say that's probably one of the smaller fish of the session, you know it's been a good day on the bank. Let's get him in the net and we'll have a look at that final net. Right, so there's the final net of fish, and what a quality net of fish that is. Just over 15.5 pounds, and for the first trip to a river, I'm over the moon and learnt so much today about the river, and with quality like that we'll definitely be back. Let's get these fish back and let's get back down the M6 home and get that heating on, because it's absolutely freezing. Thank you very much for watching. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch us all next time. Tight lines. Right, so bit at the end of the vlog. We're nearly back at the car, and believe it or not, followed us the whole way back. I told him about that Cheshire Particle M Mark, but he loves the stuff. Catch us all next time.